Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again. Real Ken's TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that post notification anytime I bring you this action, this heat. Guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now with no further ado, let's get into this evening's video, if you will. You know, I was off today. You know, I had an off day, and I spent a lot of my off day with my goddaughter. You know, she's 18 months. Actually, to be honest, she's 20 months. So yeah, she's soon to be 2. And for you all that know about 20-month, you know what I mean, 20-month year olds, is that the proper pronunciation? 20-month year olds? I don't know if that even sounds right. But nevertheless, you know that they take up a lot of your time, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So I was unable to post for the last couple days, actually, to be honest, because I had her yesterday too. But at any rate, you know, I was watching YouTube earlier, and I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, and it's Hustler Spirit 502. Hustler Spirit 502. And Fleece Johnson did an interview. And if you're not familiar, most people are that watch prison channels anyway. So if you're not familiar with Fleece Johnson, simply Google Fleece Johnson, and it'll tell you everything that you want to know. Now, let me take that back. Let me rewind that. And the reason I do my rewind like that, if you will, is because at this point I'm not editing my channels. So, you know, if I say something or I mess up, I just rewind on my own, you know what I mean? But in all seriousness, you know, if you do Google Fleece Johnson, don't believe everything that Google says. Just go to Hustler Spirit 502 and you'll hear it straight out of the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? So, I'm listening to Fleece Johnson, and he's talking about how in his day, his younger day, when he was locked up at Eddyville State Penitentiary. Eddyville's in Eddyville, Kentucky. You got to understand, Fleece Johnson was locked up in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and part of the 2000s. He served 40 years. So at that point, when he first went into Eddyville at 15, 16 years old, Eddyville was no joke. It was the only maximum security prison in Kentucky. Hell, it's not a joke now. You know, a lot of people in the prison system will say, oh, well, check-ins, which are people that they go to the guards, COs, and say, hey, I fear for my safety. So they check into the hole. But just because you check into the hole or solitary confinement, segregation, whatever you want to call it, doesn't necessarily mean, hold on, let's rewind. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're scared or you're soft, or a lot of times these guys they have a motive for checking in, or they just know themselves and they don't want to add on to the sentence that they already have. So they just rather, you know, do their time peacefully by themselves, in which, you know, the likelihood of violence is not as high. So Eddyville Penitentiary, back when Fleece Johnson was serving time, was just a beast. It's crazy because I remember in the 80s, we went to Eddyville Penitentiary on a Scared Straight program. Evidently, it didn't scare me because I've done over 10 years in the Department of Corrections in Kentucky. Not to be bragging, not to be boasting, because there's nothing to brag or boast about. It's just simply the truth. It is what it is. And I remember going to Eddyville, and they took us to that prison, notorious prison, on the day that the University of Kentucky Wildcats played the University of Louisville Cardinals in basketball. In the penitentiary, when those two teams play, if you're in Kentucky, it's not good. So for some reason, they decided to take us on that particular day, and someone got stabbed. Someone got beat up severely. I remember seeing the blood on the concrete as we were, we went on lockdown, or the prison went on lockdown, and I remember vividly, even though it's been many, many years, I remember seeing the blood and thinking, wow, I never want to come to prison. I remember being there for like 2 hours before that happened, and there was a guy, he was running, he was on the track, and he ran the entire time that we were there, up until lockdown, just ran the track. I remember these things. I was a young fella at that point. So, I'm painting a picture for you all, and the reason I do that is because I don't feel like I can get on here and tell certain stories in 8, 9, 10 minutes. Certain ones I can, but a lot of times I don't try to hurry. I want you all to visualize and actually be there with me as I'm telling this story. I may have seen Fleece Johnson. I don't know. It was in the 80s. I was a young kid. I'm positive he was on the yard at that point. But nevertheless, Fleece Johnson tells a story about how he was able to finesse someone into sexual activity. I don't condone that whatsoever. Never partook in anything in that manner. And I'm strongly against it. But at the same time, this is what happens when you go to prison. So when people say, oh, well, why do you tell stories about prison? Why do you glorify? I'm not glorifying prison. I tell these prison stories to deter the young people from going to prison. To make them think twice, 3 times, 4 times, if you will, about doing anything that can land them in prison. Shooting, murdering, robbing. These things can land you in prison for life. Live life. So that's the reason that I tell my stories. So, Fleece Johnson, he was telling a story about how 2 individuals came into prison at that time. One of the guys that came in owed him $1,500. Not my words, these are Fleece Johnson's words. You can go to Hustler Spirit 502, Fleece Johnson, and watch this exact same story. So he tells the guy that owes him $1,500, like, listen, bro, you owe me $1,500. We in the pen now, and I'm running shit in here. But there is a silver lining. Who's your partner right there? Y'all seen Friday? Well, it's not Friday. I think it's Friday after next. You know what I mean? You got Damon. Introduce me to your friend, Craig. They was at the Christmas party. I don't know if it's Friday after next, but it's one of the Fridays. And I guess that's how Fleece Johnson was, because he said it out of his own mouth. Introduce me to your friend. So bro was like, the dude that owed him $1,500 was like, listen, man, dude don't get down like that. You know what I mean? So Fleece was like, listen, I don't care about nothing. I don't care about nothing you talking about. This is what I want you to do. Introduce me to him. Introduce him to me, however you want to say it. And let him know that I'm the store man. In prison, there's always a store man, several store men. What a store man is somebody that's a loan shark. They're going to loan you something, and you're going to pay a significant amount back. They loan you $3, they want $5 back. They loan you $5, they want $8 back. They loan you 10, they want 15 back. That's how the store works. Now, it's obviously not real money in prison, so it's commissary. You know, zoom zooms and wham whams, noodles, sodas, any sort of snack, honey buns, you know, things of that nature. Oftentimes, when people borrow zoom zooms and wham whams, it's for gambling debts, to pay for cigarettes, to pay for drugs. Sometimes it's to pay for sexual favors. You know, it's all type of reasons. Sometimes people are just hungry. But nevertheless, there's always going to be a couple different store men. And to be a store man in prison, you can't be no soft type individual. People will try you. And they'll try not to pay you back. You know, they'll spin you. That's what you call it, spin you. Oh, my money didn't come. Give me till next week. Next week comes. Oh, man, my money didn't come. Here, let me give you this now. Nah. As a store man, you got to be well respected. Because if you're not, you're going to lose and lose big. Fleece Johnson admitted it. You know, he admitted, rather, he's a store man. So he tells his partner, hey, introduce me to your friend. You know what I mean? Let him know I'm the store man. If he needs anything till his money comes in. Because you can have all the money in the world, but when you first get to prison, it depends on where you coming from. If you coming from a certain place, a lot of prisons like to take all your stuff when you get there in Kentucky. So you may have, you know, $200-300 worth of commissary and you get there and they take it all. Or you can't bring this into the facility. So you got to start all over when you get there. So you end up using a store man until your money gets there. So, Fleece, hey, man, introduce him to me. That's all I need you to do. I'm going to get him to borrow some items from me, and we're going to erase his $1,500 debt. His own partner lined him up. His own partner set him up. It's like, cool, man. He introduces him. Fleece loans him whatever he loans him. He never said exactly what the amount was. I'm assuming it was a significant amount. But see, in prison, anything's significant. I don't care if it's $2. You owe me $2, man, I need that. You owe me $5, I need that. You owe me $10, $15, oh, I really need that. How prison works. To where out here on the streets, you might just let that go. No, not in prison. You owe me $7, you ain't paid me? Okay, you need another week. Now it's 14 next week. Oh, you don't got it? Now it's 21. It might even go to 28, just depends. A lot of times they keep doubling it. So, Fleece goes on to tell the story about, you know, the partner. And I guess at the time came to where it was time to pay Fleece back. He didn't have it. He didn't have the money to pay back. That's why you never borrow in prison. Because it's always a motive. It's always a motive. Understand this. Hopefully, anybody watching this video never ever goes to prison. But guess what? I know you all going to share for me. So, the likelihood of somebody seeing this video that will go to prison, you know what I mean? It's very likely someone to see it because I know you all going to share for me. Respectfully. So, the time comes, I guess the guy didn't have the money. So, Fleece, you know, I tell you what, man, I ain't really trying to hear you don't got the money. You gonna pay one way or another. That's a big saying in prison. You gonna pay with something, or you got something to pay with. Once again, my disclaimer, I don't condone any of this type of behavior whatsoever. I think it's actually quite disgusting. But the truth is the truth, and I got to bring you all the truth. You know what I mean? Sorry for the lighting, but it's dark, and I want to get you all a video out this evening. I know it's people that's on the road, and they're trucking, and they're traveling, and people that just, you know, laying in the bed, and they need a decent length video to kind of, you know, put them to sleep and things of that nature. So I definitely wanted to bring you all a video this evening, paint the picture for you, and let you all know what prison is really like. So Fleece Johnson tells him, hey, you gonna have to pay with something. Ain't no, I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we can do. This is what we can do. Since you don't have my items that you owe me, I want some of that. I need that. Well, in this particular case, in the words of Fleece, the dude didn't offer any resistance. Can't quite imagine that, unless the guy was already, well, evidently the guy was already with that. You know what I mean? So Fleece Johnson goes on to tell the story about how they started having sexual relations. One time turned to 2 times. 2 times turned to 3 times. Next thing you know, it's a regular occurrence. Fleece Johnson goes on to tell a story about the situation and how he falls in love with the guy. Fleece, if you haven't followed his videos, he's very transparent. He's very transparent about his activities, about his experiences in prison. And he talks about how when he went in at such a young age, 15 years old, he had never been with a woman before. So when he was with this individual, I guess magic, man. It was magic in there, sparks in there, fireworks. So Fleece Johnson goes on to talk about how he fell in love with this individual. It was in a real live relationship. I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's quite disgusting. I'm just keep it real. And I'm a guy that's very non-judgmental. I don't judge people. I don't, we all make mistakes. But I guess it's to each his own. But the one thing that Fleece was adamant about, I didn't make him do anything. He told dude that owed him $1,500, oh, I won't see him. I got to have him. But when he approached the dude, he said the dude was with it. So later on down the line, Fleece was talking to the individual that owed him the $1,500 initially, that set the whole thing up. Fleece said that guy was like, listen, man, I would have did that. Because at this point, Fleece is taking care of him. He's making sure that he got commissary. He's making sure that everything's good. Fleece was the man in prison. Got anything he wanted. He was in with the guards, COs, had money, all the commissary. So the guy that owed him the $1,500, according to Fleece, was like, man, I would have did that. Shoot, why don't you say something? Strange things that happen in prison. Now, the purpose for me sharing this story with you all is that you can never trust anyone in prison. You just can't. For the right amount of money, somebody that you feel like you cool with will line you up, set you up. It was a plot. It was a play the whole time. Because dude knew Fleece Johnson wasn't no joke. By the time he got to prison and seen Fleece was the man at Eddyville, and I know I owe this dude $1,500. What am I gonna do? It's either him or me. So I'd rather be my partner than me. I'm gonna clean my debt, clean my slate, and let my partner deal with that. Prison's not for the weak, man. You a man or you a mouse. Especially when you in a spot like Eddyville. See, when you in a individual, or not an individual, but when you're in a violent place like that, Going home, yeah, you always want to get home, but you got to get into survival mode. And you got to do whatever it takes. Not endorsing violence, but I am endorsing survival. You got to do whatever it takes to make it back home to your family, man. And people are going to try you, especially, they're going to sit back and they're going to watch. Now, if you're a guy that, you from the streets and people know you and, yeah, man, as soon as you get off the bus, yeah, come on over here with us. You know what I'm saying? You less likely to get tried in that manner. Unless, something happens, you run up a gambling debt, you messing with someone's boyfriend, you're causing trouble. But if you're just a regular Joe that got into some trouble on the street and it happened to be violent, but you're not really connected to the streets, and you get off at bus, call it the Grey Goose in Kentucky, and you don't know anyone, might be kind of difficult for you, man. No disrespect for your white dude, you can join the skinheads or the Aryan Brotherhood, or okay, but if you're a black dude and you're not connected, you better at least be Muslim or something. But if you think you're just gonna get off at bus and everything's all good, nobody's gonna mess with you, you got another thing coming, man. Prison is terrible, man. It's very unfair, and it's dog eat dog in there. So you got to understand that you got people in prison that people send them money every week. They go to the commissary and spend $125 a week. You got people in prison that's hustling. Again, they hustle on so they locker stays full, because it's all about commissary in prison. Now, it goes beyond commissary, because when you doing certain things in prison, you making so much money to where, hey, you got green dot cards. Hey, take my people this amount of money. Send this to my girl on the streets. So now it becomes cash. Oh, yeah. I done seen people, man, do 10 years straight, come out with, $300,000-$400,000. I'm not exaggerating. Why you think prison COs, get involved with inmates? Look, man, do this for me. I'm going to give you $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week plus I get my salary? Definitely goes down in prison, man. Now, risk versus reward, different story. Different story. But, Fleece Johnson, when he tells these stories, a lot of people, we laugh and we, oh, Fleece is crazy. But no, these kids need to hear this, because that's really what it's about. And that's really what goes down in prison. Like, he was in a real prison. So I was in prison, and I was in a real prison, and a real prison. But Fleece was in a real prison. You know what I mean? It's not a game, man. It's not a game. We watch movies, we watch TV shows, we watch, and I hear people all the time, oh, if they did this to me, they're going to have to kill me. Yeah, okay. Okay. Sounds good. And some people do mean that. So I'm not, suggesting that everybody doesn't mean it. But, my favorite movies that I typically quote, Training Day, takes a real man to kill Jake. Ain't like stepping on ants. You ready to do it? Somebody tries to take your manhood in prison? Are you really ready to do that? Do you think that you can just run up on this individual that did that to you, or try to do it to you, without a plan? You got goons around him. You got goons around him, man. You ain't gonna just run up and just catch him just randomly walking by himself. But it's like, man, if I keep a shank or something like that on me, just merely for my protection, if I get caught, that's another 5, 6, 7 years added on to my sentence. A year in the hole. Am I ready for that? You go to prison, man, you got to be ready for war. You got to be ready for anything that may come your way. Because it's subject to come your way. Even if you minding your business, you don't bother nobody, you don't gamble, you don't, play basketball, you don't mess with nobody's boyfriends, you just stick to yourself, man, things are going to come your way at some point. How you going to handle it? If you back off and you don't take up for yourself, guess what? It's never going to stop now, because they're going to feel like, oh, man, this guy don't even, he's a pushover. He ain't going to do nothing. He's going to let us just take his stuff. In all actuality, you might be the toughest dude, but you feel like, man, I'm humbling myself. I'm not trying to get in no more trouble. I'm trying to get home to my family. I'm trying to, man, you going to sink or you going to swim. That's what prison is really, really made of. Now, you all watching my video that have been to prison, well, you know what it is. But the people that's never been there, it's not no joke. Strongly suggest that you continue doing the right thing, working, going to school, just whatever you're doing, man. Working for yourself. Don't go to prison. Violent. Been there 3 times. Not proud of it. Don't plan to go back. Take all the necessary steps to not go back. Prison is very, very, jail period is violent. The county jail to me is more violent than prison. At least once you get to prison, you have, some open space. You can get out, walk around, and blow off some steam. In the county jail, man, you just in there. A year, 2 years, 3 years, around a bunch of people you don't know. They loud, they no respect. It stinks. When you do get a visit through the glass, instead of, seeing someone and being able to hug them and caress them and kiss them, you can't make love on visit or nothing like that. But, so when I say caress, you embrace. I should have said embrace. You can't be out on visit freaking. I mean, I guess you can if you can get away with it. But in that county jail, you're going to talk to them through the glass on the phone. Hello? I can't hear you. What'd you say? Just how it is, man. You woke up this morning. You got an opportunity in life. You free. You got no pending case. Man, figure out a way. If it's not working for you, figure out a way. Elevate. You got to elevate. When it's not working, figure out a way. That's what you have to do. Nah, but you don't understand. No. I do understand. Elevate. I put out videos, and sometimes I only get 30 views. And I feel like, man, I gave my heart and soul to this video. I know this video is going, but guess what? Elevate. Step my game up. Keep putting out more videos. Don't sit around and this is me talking to myself. Don't sit around and feel sorry for yourself. Ain't nobody gonna give you this. This YouTube thing ain't easy. Just like life is not easy. But now you don't understand. This person got 30,000 views and I only got 30 views. Hey, elevate. Nobody got time to be feeling sorry for you. They got your own problems. Elevate your content, kids. And be patient. Don't try to be something that you're not. I see all the negativity, just like with the Jay Williams situation. Shout out to Jay Williams, man. Free Jay Williams. Just like with the Jay Williams situation. When he went through what he was going through, he's still going through it. But, with the arrest and everything, man, I seen all type of negative content. People jumping online, talking negative, and they was getting views and, 10, 15, 20,000 views. All type of subscribers. Guess what? Nah, it's not my lane. Cause I ain't no hater. I'ma uplift you. I'ma uplift you. So I'll continue getting my, my time will come. I ain't tripping, but I'm gonna do it the right way. I don't want to do it the wrong way. It's short-lived. I want to do mine the right way. Elevate. Things are not going right for you. Figure it out. If you're working a job, you only making $12, $13 an hour. Obviously, you can't live off that. Guess what? Go get you another job. Put you a business plan together. Everybody's good at something. Try to start your own business on the side. Get your credit together. I'm about to start a credit channel, showing people exactly how to get their credit together. It's not even hard. Great thing about credit, you can be a felon. Credit is one of the only things that don't discriminate. You be a felon. Get your credit together. Get you an LLC. You know what I mean? Your business license. Start your own thing. But you can't just sit around talking about what you can't do, because ain't nobody really feeling sorry for you. Nobody cares about that. Prison. In prison, you've got to figure out a way to make it back home to your family. So I say all of that to say that. You have to figure out a way to make it home to your family. If you in there with the mentality of forget it, I don't care if I go home, then you might not make it home. Fleece Johnson went in with a 12-year sentence and ended up doing 40. He felt like he was never coming home. So that's why when you all see the interviews, when he's saying, if I want you, I got to have you. Fleece say, hey, I was just saying that for TV. They encouraged me to say that for views. Ratings. I thought I was never coming home, so what was the big deal? I can believe that. I definitely can believe that, man. Do the right thing, stay out, so you don't have to deal with being lined up. Because your own friend in prison will set you up for a couple of dollars. Now, I'm not talking about your friend that you grew up with, somebody that you've known for years, but I mean, hell, what's the likelihood that you're gonna be in prison with somebody like that? Typically, you're gonna meet somebody, and you all gonna know each other for like, however long, so many months, maybe years. So you're gonna feel like this person, man, they got my back, they cool, and they might be. I'm not saying, but then again, that might not be. You never know. Fleece Johnson situation, man, that should bring a lot of you know what I mean? You should really be able to understand some things based upon his story. Fleece Johnson, Hustler Spirit 502. They're out of Louisville, Kentucky. Go check them out, man. Very interesting content. Stay out of prison, man. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to continue to say, stay out of prison. Not no place for you, man. When you think that your darkest days and you having a bad situation out here, man, you might as well multiply that by 100. Because them same problems that you having out here, you're going to have them in prison. But it's just that they're going to come along with all the rest of the problems. Man. You don't want that. You don't want to be around no dudes all day long, plotting on you, waiting to catch you in the shower. Fleece said, man, the dude that he was plotting on, he noticed him in the shower. And that's when he first caught his attention, was like, whoa, I need him. Man, look at him. That's what Fleece said. You want to be in an environment like that? You think you tough? You think that if somebody does something to you, I'll just go kill that person. I'll just go get a shank. Man, you one person. They got 15, 20 people in their car. How you going to get to them? How you going to get to them? You're not going to be able to even remotely get close to them. Stay out of prison, man. Y'all share my video for me if you don't mind. Real Kids TV. Hopefully you liked the video. If you didn't like it, because I know it's kind of, you know what I mean, but it's informative. Kids need to see this. Yeah. Why hide it from the kids? They need to see it. Saturday, tonight is it's Monday night. Just got done watching Monday Night Football. So at this point, it's Tuesday morning, early. Yeah, it's 12:17 my time, Tuesday morning. And Saturday night, 5 people got shot downtown. 5 people got shot. And it's just to the point to where it's almost every day. Definitely every weekend. People just getting shot left and right. People just shooting as if, I just go around shooting people. I'll be okay. Sad, sad world, man. Go to work. Go home. Spend time with your family, your kids, your wife, your girl, whoever, whoever. Stay out here for your kids, man. Like I said, Real Kids TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Share the video if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. So anytime, oh, I'm sorry, you got to hit that post notification as well. Almost, how could I forget that? Got to hit that post notification. Anytime I bring you this action, this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. Real Kids TV, man. Stay out of prison. Free Jay Williams, man. I'm going to say it till it's backwards, man. Until next time, you all. We out.